Hi, this is Elaine from Mindful Healing, and today I'm going to give you some do's and don'ts for helping somebody with anxiety. Anxiety is a situation when somebody feels trapped. They don't feel they have any other options. So the first thing to do is to help them power through without escaping. That means you don't have to encourage them to avoid the thing that they're feeling anxious about, but give them baby steps like you have to give them a back door so that they know that they're not trapped. So the back door might be, well, try these things first, and then if they don't work, we'll look at whether or not you can switch schools or whether or not you can do this or that. But first, you want them to do everything they can to cope. And so you can give them baby steps in terms of what they can do to make the situation better for them, to face the situation. There are, of course, all kinds of different kinds of anxiety. There's social anxiety, there's school anxiety, test performance anxiety, uh, general anxiety where everything is overwhelming. So it depends upon the kind of anxiety and the intensity of it. But the key to anxiety is the thought that there's no way out. So if they know there's a way out where they don't have to avoid, but that the way out is through, but through in a safer way, then you can really help them. Helping them to avoid can actually cause more anxiety, because the more they avoid, the bigger the anxiety gets. And the more you validate that the anxiety was real, that the fear was real, when most anxiety is based on things that don't happen or are never going to get worse, or say they're being ostracized at school have happened, but now they have to hold their head up high and they have to learn to cope with it without feeding the situation. You're being empathetic, you're being supportive, you're being able to listen, you're being able to give them baby steps. All those things will help a child with anxiety. And letting them know that they can find their way out of it. They can solve this and they can cope. The more that they have that confidence that they can cope with anxiety, the more they'll be able to manage it. Some anxiety, of course, needs medical intervention, but first start with the things that are not medical, because it's not all biological. And sometimes they just need the skills, and they need the empathy, and they need the support. The one thing that you don't do is let their anxiety trigger your anxiety. Or rather, if it does trigger your anxiety, you don't let it show. You hide it from them. And don't give them unsolicited advice. Make them a partner in the problem solving. Say, I have some ideas. Are you open to hearing about them? But don't just dump advice on them, because they do need to believe that they can. They can work through this. And in the end, they'll be all the better for it. And anxiety will be something that it's just something that they've learned how to deal with. It's not something that has to be the enemy. Just a thought.